Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly. This is primarily a drone show. We'll be sharing adventures from all over the world. We hope to have interesting guests every week, and we're glad that you tuned in tonight. We'll be flying different drones in different locations. We encourage viewer participation in the chat. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Every week we'll have another interesting guest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll be sharing various adventures by our guests as well as myself. And thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live. It's Thursday night, 7 p.m. And I have another great show scheduled with an awesome guest. And if you saw the Facebook post and the YouTube post, you know that it's Jeanne Costello. And she's got a very interesting story to share, to say the least. And I know you're going to find it very interesting. But anyway, I'm all better. I'm not sick anymore, and my wife is all better. And I tell you, I am still tired from the South Florida drone meetup, though. I mean, we had such a good time. At least I had such a good time. I hope everybody else did that attended it. Really, but so many people came into town early, before the meetup that weekend. Johnny Johnny Alfonso, Johnny the drone flyer, and Scott. They came and checked into the hotel on Tuesday. And he had requested that maybe you could take me to Peanut Island, and I said, sure, we can go down to Peanut Island, fly Peanut Island, but we do it at sunrise, that's when we do it. And a few of the guys decided to have a little mini meetup down at the Riviera Beach Marina Village. And we really had a good meetup. The weather was perfect for flying drones, and it was a beautiful sunrise. The Margaritaville at Sea cruise ship came back to the port, and we were all able to film that. And actually, Johnny, he put out an awesome hyperlapse, a time lapse of it docking, and he was the only one I think to do that, and it came out pretty good. But we had a good time. I was telling everybody where President John F. Kennedy's bunker was on Peanut Island, and I think just about everybody found the location of it. So it was really, really a great little meetup. But let me just take a second, a minute or so, and let me see if I can. I'll probably mess it all up. Let's see. Oh man, I'm telling you, these things. I think this is it. No, because then there was another meetup prior, and I think a lot of you know that Ron Brown came to town. He came to town a month early. He came down to Jupiter for the month of March, and he had said, Ray, I know you and Al, this is Al's spot, really, the Hillsborough Lighthouse, and you fly there. I would like to fly there. So Al and myself and Ron went down there, and a few others joined us. But I have to say, it was a
Captain Ray
a
Kelly.
great little
On
meetup
this
down
adventure, we're
there
going to
at the
head down
Hillsborough
to the state
Lighthouse.
of Florida, and we're going to
Really,
fly drones
I'll show you a
at the
little bit of it.
Hillsborough Lighthouse in
Yeah.
Pompano Beach. And today I'll be flying with Al Sercione, Ron Brown, TJ Alexander, Hans Hasselbacher, and Mark Billick. Ken Nida showed up a little later. Today I'll be flying my DJI Mavic 3. I checked the UAV forecast and we were good to fly.
You know my standard introduction.
Hi, welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly. I'm here at the Roy Rogers Park in Pompano Beach, Florida. That's the Hillsborough Lighthouse in the background. We got a little mini meetup going on. We got Al Sercione and Ron Brown, TJ Alexander, Ken Nida, Mark
And I might
Billick,
add that
and Hans
Ron was
Hasselbacher.
doing a
So
hyperlapse
come on along.
throughout this whole sunrise that day. There's Ron now.
I'm on the video. Look, we're going up. We're out of here.
He's up, he's out of here. I did one flight before sunrise, and then I did this flight. And that's Al Sercione, TJ Alexander, and Ron Brown from New Jersey.
It's really a great place to fly, that park right there. Small little
Roy
park.
Rogers Park is a great place to fly drones from. That's the Intracoastal Waterway there, and this is Hillsborough Inlet, and there's the beautiful Hillsborough Lighthouse. So let's fly on over to it. I love seeing the light bright beacon. And of course, you can do some nice boat following here in the inlet.
Yeah, a lot of people call it boat chasing, but I call it boat following because I don't chase the boats. I just zoom in on it. But anyway, this is such a great place to fly, and we had a nice mini meetup down there. And if you want to watch the rest of it, you can go to my channel. But I tell you, we got a great crowd in the house tonight, really, and I truly appreciate it. Every week I say it, but you guys come in and check in, and I truly appreciate it. So thank you. But anyway, the chat has went right by, and I see John Flynn there, and Warren, and John Olson from Long Island, and Ashley Brown. And it was a pleasure meeting Ashley and Paul Brown and Paul Jr. and Benjamin. They came all the way from Massachusetts down to the South Florida Drone Meetup, and I think they had a good time. But anyway, Angel's in the house. How you doing, Angel? And Steve Jeanne is in the house, and he already gave a commitment that he's sponsoring next year's meetup with 20 more bottles of maple syrup. And a surprise, whatever that's going to be. But thank you, Steve. And did I say hello to Angel? I think I said hello to Angel. Brian, Waypoint, New England. And I know it takes time to do this, but I think it's important. So, and if I miss your name, I don't do it on purpose. Captain Joe, actually Captain Joe was number one. He checked in early this afternoon. How you doing, Captain Joe? And Andrew's in the house. I can fly. And I know I saw Alan, Drone Views Vita. He's watching all the way in Ireland. And Frank Rizzo's in the house today. And Frank, I'll make you a moderator tomorrow when I review the chat. And same thing with Rudy. Rudy's in the house. I'll make you a moderator tomorrow. But anyway, I'll get back to the name shortly because I think the special guest is all out of shrimp and lobster in the back room. So I want you to please to give a warm welcome to Jeanne Costello. She's coming to us all the way from Tennessee. How you doing, Jeanne?
I'm good, Ray. How are you?
Good. Yeah, good to see you. Welcome.
Thanks. I was just going to say, I recently flew at the Hillsborough Lighthouse. That is such a gorgeous, the scenery there is absolutely beautiful. But I did almost get a parking ticket. I didn't know that you had to pay to park there.
Oh,
and I just,
really? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I missed
Yeah.
the little
No,
sign, but whatever. But it worked out. But
yeah.
it is gorgeous.
And you flew right from that Roy Rogers Park that we
I
fly
flew
from?
right by the railing there, right in front of the railing. Had a
Yeah,
great view
yeah.
of it, and yeah, it's a beautiful
I
inlet.
think it's
Who's
a
up
very
walking
unique. I think
there?
it's a unique lighthouse. You know what I mean? Um,
Absolutely. At first, I thought it wasn't like the nicest looking, but actually, I think it's pretty cool. And one time I flew, they
well,
were
you
doing
know,
tours. There were people up there one time, but I think they only do it like once a month, right? Where you can go up in that
I don't
lighthouse.
know about that. I don't know about that. If
Well,
you
you have to do
taking the
that
tours,
when you're there.
yeah. But
But
it's a great place to fly. That's for sure. Did you fly at sunrise or sunset or when?
no,
Midday?
I think it was like 4 in the afternoon. It was like mid-afternoon, but it was
Yeah.
a beautiful time to fly, even so. I'm a
Yeah.
midday
No.
person. You're the morning. I'm midday or night or
Yeah.
sunset.
Yeah. But anyway, I know, you know, I finally met you on Long Island. You know, we flew the Patchogue Lighthouse together,
Yes,
along with John Olson, if I remember right. John was there.
yes, yes. And then Kurt showed up.
Yes, then Kurt from the Long Island Drone Flyers
That's
group showed up. Yeah,
a great group. I love that's how we met. I love that group.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, Gene, so how did you get involved with drones, really? And tell us about what drones you have right now.
Okay. Well, it was like 7 years ago, 2018, and one of my friends just posted a picture that he took with the Spark drone, the DJI Spark. And I really could be very impulsive. I have always been into photography, but very amateur. My daughter played softball, and I just did a lot of her softball tournaments. She was a pitcher. But when I saw this picture, it was over the Nessequag River. I thought that was just so cool to see that from above. And I was in a
Okay.
Best Buy, and I saw the drones in there, and I decided I'm going to buy this. So I bought a Spark drone, and I loved that little drone. It was a great little drone. It was like the hazel green. You got to pick out a color for those drones. Me
Right.
being a girl, I
Yep.
liked having a colorful drone. And then a month later, I was so into it, I got a Mavic Pro, the original one. and
Okay.
and then I just as of I got the first drone on April 20th of 2018. April 30th, I started just flying every day. And after a couple months, I thought that I would try to apply for a Guinness Book record, just kind of as a goof.
Okay. Interesting.
It only cost $5 to do that. So it asked
Okay.
what cause I was doing the world record for. And I'm a piano teacher, and my piano tuner's son had just died from a terrible cancer, rhabdomyosarcoma. He was just 9 years old. So anyway, I decided to fly to raise awareness for kids with cancer, because all the research is very underfunded, and anyway, so that's how I started doing this every day. I was going to do it for 1 year, and I just never stopped. So this April
Wow.
30th will be 7 years. And I used to fly,
7 years.
yeah, and I used to fly every drone. I ended up having 3 drones, and I would do them every day after I got my Mavic 2 Zoom. But then I finally slowed down after like 4 years, and now I just do one a day. So
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have to say, I give you a lot of credit. You know, it's a good cause, and I don't know anybody else who has flown every day for that long a time. I really don't. I know Phil Chura up in New Hampshire. He flies every morning at sunrise,
uh-huh.
but I don't know
And
what
I love
his
it.
longest stretch has been.
Right. I used to do the Facebook live feed every day, and it was like therapy to me. Just I love your channel, how you're just talking as you're flying. Oh,
Hmm.
oh, this is this going on and that. And it's such like a natural, nice thing to do. And for me, my live feed felt kind of like therapy. I'd talk about my day or whatever. And then Facebook stopped allowing that. So I kind of miss doing the live feed like that. Did you ever do Facebook
Yeah.
live feed with your drone?
Face. No, not with the drone. No, no.
Yeah. Well, they
I've done
stopped
it with
allowing
my
it.
cell phone, you know,
Right. Yeah, I do
but
that.
um, I think you know, doing the live streams with drones is so cool also. And we have a group. You don't get up at sunrise, but on the weekends there's a group among us here that fly every weekend at sunrise.
Right.
Did
Well,
you
I
know
see
that?
no, but I see posts. I see your posts. No, but I didn't know every weekend. Wow. So what time is sunrise in Florida?
Well, right now I didn't even check it today. It was
It's
around
probably like 6 a.m. or
6:58,
earlier.
maybe 6:55. But yeah, it starts off now with Rodney Bell in Virginia. He does it. Then it goes to Georgia. Dennis
Wow.
Lovelady, he films the sunrise. And
Wow.
then it goes to Chris Hope in Texas. This is on Sundays. And then it comes back to Johnny Drone Flyer with drones and coffee on Sundays.
Wow.
But it's fun, and that's sort of who I started watching in the beginning when I was first starting to fly drones. And we got a question for you, so get ready.
Okay.
Paul
What is
Brown.
it? My glasses to see this.
Okay.
Do I ever
If
get
you
strange encounters in public? No, I actually get very nice encounters in public, just like you men do, I'm sure. I have a variety of people. I have people who I love to show what it's seeing. I think sometimes drone flying is very misunderstood. I did recently have a child say, "Mom, it's a drone. They're spying on us. They're spying on us." So when I
Yeah.
landed, this is when I started flying around these great blue heron colonies from a park by me. I came up and showed them pictures. Listen, we're not interested
Right.
in you. We're interested in the landscape and nature, and things like that. And I just want your son to understand, So I showed them the pictures, and it was, they saw, how amazing it is. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't say I've had any strange encounters other than my recent one that we're going to talk about.
Well, yeah, it's good.
First,
Now we can go right into that. But before we do, I want to
segue.
show one of your videos.
Okay.
So let me bring it up right now. And I guess we'll start off with Three Sisters Springs. And if you want to narrate over it, you can. I know you do a lot of narration anyway.
Yeah, I did a narration in this one. Springs in Crystal River, Florida. You're transported into a beautiful paradise of turquoise spring waters, gorgeous trees and songbirds, and hundreds of manatees during the cool. I was just there in February on my way back from Florida, from Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
To go to Three Sisters.
So I did a little GoPro at the beginning. My first stop was at the visitor center to purchase a ticket and then hop on the trolley for a short but fun and scenic ride around the 60-acre refuge up to the springs. As you walk around the boardwalk, be sure to take a look at the signs along your way that share interesting facts about the springs and its inhabitants. There are also several observation areas that offer a close-up look of the manatees in and around the beautiful springs.
And I enjoy listening to people narrate when they do their videos.
Crystal River is the manatee capital of the world and home to the only wildlife refuge in the United States created to protect habitats for Florida's manatees. Be sure to check out the specialty shops and some restaurants and bars in the downtown area. If you're looking to get in the water with these amazing gentle giants, Pete's Pier is where the two boats take off for the springs. And that was incredible. Or if you want to take a kayak out to the springs, Hunter Springs Park is a great place to launch. There is also a roped-off area for swimming, where if you get lucky, you may have a manatee encounter there, as these snorkelers did that I captured.
Look at that. These are great shots.
When the water temperatures drop in the Gulf of Mexico below 70 degrees, several hundred manatees make their way across Crystal River to the springs at speeds of up to 15 miles per hour. Over 250,000 people have in-water encounters with them each year. On this day, the count was over 400. It looks like many of them are piled up in this one spot for a group nap. It's so peaceful walking around the springs, listening to the pretty songbirds while viewing the lush plant life surrounding you.
I have to say, that's a great video.
Thank you. So part two, Ray, there's a part two of that video where it's just a drone, just strictly drone footage. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. That's great.
Where I'm not talking.
I know there was
the sites and listen
comments about it in the chat, but if you want to watch the rest of it, go to Jeanne's channel, Jeanne Drone Ventures, correct?
Yeah, Jeanne's Drone Ventures and Cinematography.
Yeah. And if you're not subscribed to our channel, do it. Do it now. Really. Don't wait until after the show.
Thank you. I appreciate
But
it.
anyway, so listen, you brought it up about the latest encounter you had.
Yeah.
So maybe you could tell the viewers what happened, your version of what happened,
All right.
and what
So,
drone you were flying and all of that.
all right. So I recently got a Mavic 3 Pro last November, and this drone has enabled me to see things that I wouldn't be able to see with my Mavic 2 Zoom. So I had been documenting these great blue herons that I didn't even know were in our area. You know, normally with the drone, I have no interest in birds. I want to stay away from the birds. But this bird, they are gorgeous. So I was
Yeah.
following a great blue heron, and I documented a lot of hunting. They're very cool how they hunt and they strike for the fish. And you showed me Mark Fisher's video. That was like incredible. That had to be ground cameras, by the way. That was incredible. Anyway, so
Excuse me.
at one point I followed one that was flying, and it took me a little ways away, right across the lake, to all these trees full of nests of these herons, and it's called the heronry, and I've learned a lot about it, and I've ended up filming a lot of episodes. I'm obsessed with them, but I have a real passion for these birds now, and watching their chicks and everything in the nest and everything going on, the breeding, everything. So anyway, so it had been about 3 weeks I was doing this over this heronry, and I was hovering. You know, you end up hovering. It's at the very back end of a property, and I was over the lake. Mostly I was just over Fort Loudoun Lake. But this
Okay.
was a property that was a huge property. I never saw one human being. Sometimes I was over the trees, which are about probably 15 feet from the shore, or right on the border of the shore, or over the shore. If you have the Mavic 3, you understand you could be so far away and get incredible views. So
Right.
I was hovering over a tree, watching this great scene with a mother heron and her baby chicks, and I heard gunshots. Now, here in
Wow.
Tennessee, many people hunt. It's not unusual to hear gunshots. So I just thought somebody's hunting or something in the area. So the mother heron left the babies in the nest, and I was concerned about them. So I continued to hover and watch this nest. There were about 6 gunshots, and then it stopped, and then the mother came back. So I'm like, oh, good, she came back. Thank God she didn't leave her chicks alone. You know, because they were going nuts when they heard the gunshot. It never
I can imagine.
occurred to me that I was being shot at, not once, or I would have gotten out of there. Again, it started again, and that's when it finally occurred to me. My gosh, is somebody shooting at my drone? What? Really? So
Yeah.
I didn't even get a chance to take off. All of a sudden, my drone was at 160 feet. You know how I watch my altitude. I watch my distance from my home point, how many minutes are left on the battery, or percentage. I'm always watching all these things. So all of a sudden, my drone shot up 258 feet. I still didn't know what it was doing. I was like, what's going on?
Right, of course.
And then that's it. I lost my connection. And then I thought,
Oh my God.
I was like numb. I literally was shaking and numb. I'm like, oh my gosh, did somebody shoot my drone down? And
Yeah.
I just sat there for a couple minutes just trying to be like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? What do I do? So then,
Yeah.
of course, I called the police. They came up and they met me. And he says, do you want to file a report? I didn't know what address the house was at. And they wanted the address. I'm like, oh, I thought you would help me find the address. No, you have to give us the address. So I'm like, well, I don't know what the address is. I said, it's right there. You can see it. It's right across from where I'm flying. So
Exactly.
they said, do you want to file a report? And I said, yes. So after I filed the report, I flew my Mavic 2 Zoom, which I have internet with my phone, and I actually got the street address. And I was able, and I said, I think this is it. I drove around and found the house. I got back to the police. They went to the property. The person admitted to it. He admitted shooting it down. They recovered my drone from the water. It had a bullet hole at the bottom, or pellet, whatever, from the shotgun. I really didn't understand. I guess there's a shotgun spray. I really don't know.
Shotgun blast. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, he admitted it and all of that. So I've been waiting for 3 weeks. They have my drone. They took my remote, my drone.
Yeah, becomes evidence. Yeah, it's
They
evidence.
don't even get back in touch with me. I'm like, I need my drone back, whatever. So now I'm filing a lawsuit in addition, a small claims court. He did receive the summons. I did it last week and he already
Good.
got the summons. So anyway,
Good.
so that's,
You'll end up winning that case, no doubt about it. But I do hope he gets arrested eventually.
I mean, did they take
really.
his gun? I mean, this is Tennessee. So the aviation captain sounds like he said, well, you could be a pedophile. He's someone who flies drones. I'm like, well, don't most pedophiles get on the ground? Are they really flying drones? I was 160 feet up. I said he saw the birds. Whatever.
Well, if you don't get any satisfaction, he may be the captain, but if you don't get any satisfaction, you should contact the chief of police. Really. I'm just telling you. That's what I would do.
Thank you. I do need some advice. This is all new to me. I'm very
I know. I couldn't imagine it happening to me. Somebody shooting my drone out of the sky. Really. And people in the chat, what would you do? I personally think you handled it great. You really did.
Well, thank you.
And I give you a lot of credit for that.
Right. Small claims court recommended that I contact him first to see if he would want to resolve out of court.
Right.
So I called him up and he was really nice. And he said, oh, I'm getting on a plane. I'll call you tonight. So he didn't call me back. So 2 days later, my husband says, just give him another try. Maybe he's traveling. So I called him again and he didn't answer. I left him a very nice voicemail. The next day, a sheriff called me and said, did you call this person? Right. And I said, yes. And I explained my reason. And he said, well, don't call him anymore. I was like in shock. I just couldn't believe it. Anyway.
I know. But that's good. I mean, you made the attempt and now it's in court, small claims court.
Now I'm paranoid. I was going somewhere else and I heard guns going off and I'm like, now I'm getting paranoid. But, you do hear that.
Yeah, Steve Jeanne makes a good point about calling your local FAA rep. Yep. And notifying him or her.
The aviation captain told me that he's in touch with the FAA in Georgia. Now I looked up, we do have FAA in Nashville, so I don't understand why he's in touch with the person in Georgia. So
yeah.
So anyway, he said that he let them know they're all aware of it, and they're waiting for RDA to say how they want to handle it before they're going to decide what to do. But I'm not so sure I trust this person. I don't know.
Yes, Jeremy. It was shot out of the air, Jeremy. Can you imagine?
I have a picture of it. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. I should have had that ready.
Yeah, you had. I saw that photo. I remember. And you could tell it was in the mud or whatever, when they recovered it for you.
Over the water. It wasn't even over his property.
Hey, Ronnie. And we got Barkley in the house, 107 Drones. How you doing? But yeah, I could not imagine that happening to me.
I know. I was like shaking. I was in shock. I was shaking. Can you imagine your drone? All of a sudden, you're like, oh my gosh, what happened? What happened to my baby, my drone, my $2,500 drone, that I've been wanting to get for 2 years. I finally have it. And
Bill's got a good point, too. Get a copy of the incident report.
I have it.
Yep.
I have it. And they called it
you got it already.
They called it a misdemeanor vandalism. And I looked it up. Anything over $1,000 is a felony. So I had mentioned that. The captain wouldn't call me back. And finally, I spoke to someone else. And then he called me right back. And I said, I heard it's a felony. And anyway, whatever. He said he would straighten that out. But I still haven't heard back again. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, again, I know it's frustrating for you. You want something done. But eventually, you'll get your money for that drone.
Listen, Ray,
hopefully the guy gets arrested.
I see people saying, it's a federal crime, and all these things. But the FAA, I did research about this, and I don't see where they've prosecuted anybody. Did you see the guy in St. James, where we're from?
No, well, it happened down here in Florida, just to let you know. It happened, and the guy was arrested. He was arrested as soon as the cops went to the deputy sheriffs went to his house. He went away in handcuffs.
Yes,
that guy. But what the final disposition was in court of that case. But it is a drone is considered an aircraft, so
Yes.
and it's a felony. That's right, Paul. Yep.
But did you see
But
that
anyway,
case?
that's such an interesting story, really, and I feel bad. But you got a new replacement drone, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But I
Yeah,
have to pay the person back. One of my family members was very kind because I was going to Charleston Race Week to shoot the sailboat race that's once a year. I had this planned for a long time. And so I wanted to have that drone to do it. So one of my family members stepped up, lending me money. So as soon as I get my money back, hopefully I better win the small claims case. I filed a lawsuit in small claims court. So.
yeah, Bill makes another good point here. They have a hotline. That's right, Bill. You
Oh,
can
I think I should do that. They
call
said they reported it, but I don't know. Did they? Maybe they didn't report it. Who knows? But thank you.
You should report it yourself. I really feel that way. I would report it.
I'm going to do that. I'll do that tomorrow. It's Good Friday, but I'll take the time to do it.
And if anybody has any questions for Jeanne about this or anything else, put them in the chat. I'll try to keep an eye out for them. Most of the time I miss them. And then Paul Brown spots them.
I know, so some drone guy says, no offense, small claims could take years. Well, my case is scheduled for May 11th I think it's May 11th, and he was served. He got it. But, it's also a matter of collecting. Even if I win, then you got to try to collect. So it is. Now,
Barkley,
true.
I don't know if you know Barkley, 107 Drones. He lives in Tennessee. I don't know if I should have said that, Barkley, but, and you got the TBI down there, too. So.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, I think, right?
Has anybody else that ever had their drone shot down?
No, just that one case I read about. But that's the only other one I heard about. Like I say, have a good night and week, Barkley. Thank you for popping in. Say hi to Jenna. But anyway, but anyway, I give you so much credit for flying. Now, you're not a Part 107, correct? Or are you?
No, Ray, I signed up for the course last year and I started, and it's so time consuming. It is not. I'm a smart person. I was like straight A's and B's in college, but it's hard. I think I did about a third of the course. Now I have to redo the whole thing. But
okay. Yeah. Well, I've been taking that course for 5 years now.
Oh boy.
But anyway, I have a little format, so let me get back to my little format, and I also show a viewer video of the week. So let me see if I can bring this one up. And I thought it was an awesome video from the South Florida Drone Meetup. And I don't think he's in the chat, but you never know. Sometimes he's driving from Miami. And that's Alex Escardo. So we'll watch this for a couple of minutes. And I love the way he does his editing and everything, really. And hopefully there's his audio. Did one of these AI songs.
100 drones, 100 souls, flying in from distant homes, from mountain peaks to desert sands. Florida's call, they understand. Taillights blur on highway bright, destination set for a sunny sight. A bar's warm glow, a welcome sign. Drone pilots mingle and spirits align. Engines down and drinks held high, stories buzzing beneath the sky. Clicking pins collide, friendships forged with nothing to hide. Laughs are loud and spirits soar, ready to fly, settle the score. I made it! Taking hold, a drone pilot's party, brave and bold.
Hey Joe, how you doing?
Oh, that's Phil. Tasty platters always hit the spot, talking specs and the latest plot. GPS locking FPV speed.
This is the meet and
planting
greet, Jeanne.
seeds of
It's
tomorrow's
such a
deed.
good time.
Old friends greet with a hearty cheer. New faces shine.
I know,
Vanishing fear.
unfortunately, I have.
Electric vibe, ready to fly on tomorrow's flight. Engines down and drinks
Are always right before it.
buzzing beneath the sky. Pool balls click and pins collide. Friendships forged with nothing to hide.
His editing is incredible.
Ready to fly
Really.
and see the shore. Florida
Is it, am I live? Am I live?
I am so. Tomorrow's dawn, a metal swarm, but tonight we celebrate an aerial form. The hum of talk, a friendly sound where camaraderie can be found. From coast to coast, they came to play, to chase the clouds another day.
Awesome video.
Engines down
Really.
and drinks held high.
But anyway,
Stories
listen,
buzzing
guys.
beneath the sky.
You want to watch the rest of that? Go to Alex Escardo's channel, AMA Aerials, and I tell you, all his videos are amazing, really. So Jeanne, hopefully you can join us next year, April 10th to the 12th,
I know.
2026.
I always seem to have this. You know, I'm a piano teacher and I'm a published composer, and I always have this thing with FJH Music, which is in Florida, that goes on like right before. But hopefully next year I will be able to do it. I would love to, of course.
Yeah. We got 66 people signed up already for next year. So
Well, I
but
love that
anyway.
area. I flew around the Guitar Hotel.
I
Does
saw
anybody
that video. Yeah.
in Lauderdale?
There's so many great places to fly. Where did you like flying the best in Florida? Hey, Bob.
Oh, guess
Hey,
what?
no, Bob.
That cruise ship. What's that new big cruise ship? I'm trying to think where that was.
In Miami? You went down to Miami?
Yes, I went there, Ray. I went there. I didn't get
Okay.
close to it though. I flew, you know, I used my 3-time Zoom and my 7-time Zoom to get what I could. That is some boat. What is that called? The something of the seas? What is that ship called?
Icon of the Seas? Was it the
Yes.
Icon?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So I have
Yeah.
some footage to do some videos for my YouTube channel of my time down there. And yeah, that ship is
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Bob
right?
knows. Icon of the Seas. Yeah. He's flown down there. We've flown down there. Alex, you know, flies
Have
down
you
there a
seen
lot.
the ship? So has anybody captured that ship?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jesus Torres. He does amazing videos with the cruise ships. Yeah. But
Well, there
yeah,
was a
it's
police
great.
vessel in the water there, right next to it. So I
What
was
was there?
a police vessel in the water, right
Oh
next
yeah.
to the.
Yeah, they escort it. They protect it and escort it. Yes. Yeah. But anyway, I know Paul wanted to go down to Miami while he was at the South Florida drone meetup, but it
was so
didn't work
close.
out.
It was close, Ray. It was only like a 30-minute drive, I think. It was not far.
Yeah, well, we were up in Jensen Beach, so
Oh, how far is that? How far is that from
about
Lauderdale?
2 hours. 2 hours to
Oh,
Miami.
okay. Oh, I didn't realize
Not to
that.
mention if you hit traffic. But
True. 95 is not great, right?
I know. I'm stuck
I
on
hit
there
it
today,
back up
actually.
after that. When are you
Yeah.
heading back to Long Island? Does everybody know that we're fellow Long Islanders?
I know. Jeanne is from Long Island. Yes, she
I've
is
been in
originally.
Tennessee
Yeah.
for 20 years, but anyway,
But I'm
headed
heading
up
back
there.
on next Sunday. Next Sunday, I'm
All right,
going to
hey,
take
I'll
a
be
slow
there.
drive back.
I'm coming up. I'm driving up next week, so I'll be there.
Oh,
for
are
a
you?
week. Yeah,
Oh,
well,
okay.
my mother's not in good condition, so I'm coming up late next week.
Well, we'll all pray for your mom. Everybody in the chat, you know, please
you.
pray for Jean's mom.
Thank
And
you. I
while
appreciate
I'm
that.
saying that, Alexis's husband too. He's going through some health issues. So everybody could use prayers. I don't care who you are. You could always use a couple of prayers, you know.
Absolutely.
So, all right, I'm looking to see if anybody else has any questions for you. I don't think I missed any. But so you have the Mavic 3 Pro now. Is that your favorite? your favorite drone, or the best
Yeah.
drone you ever had, or which one?
Ray, you're not going to believe this. So I had a
I,
Mavic
ju-
2 Zoom that
I,
I
ju-
love.
I
My
just
Mavic.
happen to have one right here.
Mine's in my case behind me. I hate that thing. Hold on. I'm going to get my
This
drone.
this.
I want to show people.
Ah,
Oh, I don't have it on. Oh, look. I stored it without this thing. What is that movie, Silence of the Lambs? I mean, it reminds me of that guy in the thing. This thing is so like, I guess they need it to protect it, right? But
I know,
how
I know,
hard is it to get this thing on? Like, you got to be so
I
perfect.
know. I don't like it. I like the one on the Mavic 3 better. But anyway, Bill, I'm feeling all better. I'm all better. But thank you for asking.
Oh, what's wrong,
Yeah.
Ray? You're sick?
No, I ended up getting sick right after the meetup. Yeah, about 8 or 10 of us got sick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So
No,
anyway, my Mavic 2, after this drone got shot out of the sky, my Mavic 3 Pro, I have a refurbished Mavic 2 Pro because where the battery plugs in, it broke. A piece broke off. So I sent it into DJI for repair, was not repairable. So they sent me another Mavic 2 Zoom. So I
okay.
was, after I lost that drone, I was flying at another heronry location that I found of the great blue herons. And my
Okay.
drone fell out of the sky. Can you believe it, Ray? Over the water.
I mean, when you said that the following week or 2
It
weeks
was
later,
5 days.
whatever it
It was
was,
5 days later.
5 days later. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
anyway,
And
I
you
love
didn't recover that one, right?
no. I have a case with DJI about it. But anyway, I
Wow.
know 2
Yeah,
drones.
Mario says shooting a drone is a felony. I totally agree there, Mario.
Me too. He's
Yep.
shooting over the lake, Ray. Ray, there are boats out on that lake. I mean, you were a police officer. What do you think about that? Shouldn't he
Well,
be
again,
arrested?
it can be reckless endangerment, I mean, and again, you know,
But if you're
I
shooting
can't
bird shot, like I think they call that bird shot, and they're shooting up,
buckshot,
what
buckshot, birdshot.
what happens to if there's a boat over the lake? What would happen with that? Could somebody get hurt?
Yeah, I mean, it could be reckless endangerment. Really, that's the charge in New York, anyway. Yeah, and criminal mischief to your
Well,
drone,
they call this a
is another charge.
misdemeanor. I call
A state charge. I'm talking about.
right.
Hey, my boy Don, how you doing? Cool cat. And Eldon, how you doing? Take off. Good to see you. Um, and again, anybody has any questions, put them in the chat. Um, but I also do a tip of the week, okay, Jeanne, on the show. Nothing fancy, sophisticated. But this week's tip is be aware that you have controller interference when flying in a group with other drone pilots. At least I do. With my DJI RC, if I'm flying in a group with others, it seems like it really affects my controller. I have to move away from them, get more distance, and then it goes away. Have you had that happen, or do you have a tip for the viewers?
I have never had controller interference because I don't fly with groups. But I will tell you, on this new drone, it does it go out on you all of a sudden. I lose it. I lose the screen, and then
Oh,
I get,
really?
yeah, it happens a lot. Happens a lot. I don't know if it's the areas I'm flying in. I lose
That's
connection
interesting.
for about 15 seconds. The screen turns black and then it comes back.
Yeah, and that's at least I get nervous when that happens.
Well, of course I do. I'm worried somebody
Yeah,
shot my drone down again. No, I'm kidding.
I know. I couldn't imagine. My Lord, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I
But
never was paranoid. I've been flying for 7 years and I'm a very confident flyer. I know I'm very competent and I'm very careful. I'm safety first and all of that. But it's almost like a little post-traumatic stress syndrome here,
oh
from
yeah,
that
yeah,
happening.
I know. I've only had like a couple of minor confrontations from Karens, you know,
Mm.
and you know, nothing really to speak of, you know. And
You
I
know, when I
know most drone pilots have had confrontations with different people while they're flying. Right,
wow,
guys? Tell us in the chat if you have.
I most of my people, I show them what it's seeing, and I try to enlighten them about, the beautiful things we get to see. And most people are really into it when I show them. I've done a lot of waterfall flying. I get like obsessed with different things. For the first 2 years, I did waterfalls. I've been all over Tennessee waterfalls, and that was like my thing. Then it was this, my father was into sailing. So then I did sailboats. I love to fly around
Okay,
sailboats.
that's where that comes from. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, my father had a sailboat at Setauket Marina, if you know where that is.
Yeah, sure.
So I
I
grew
know
up
where it is.
sailing, also in Smithtown, because I grew up in Smithtown. Then I got into whitewater rafting, which is so exciting. Now, I guess they have that like in Delaware. Like if you're from New York and you want to check out that with your drone, you could go to Delaware, right? Delaware Water Gap, they have
That's
that.
where I went. Yeah, when I did it, the one and only time I did it. That's where I
Oh, is
went.
that not
Yeah.
exciting though, to watch those rafts with your drone? Oh my gosh, I was so into that. I love that.
Yeah.
So I
Bob
play.
makes a good point about changing your altitude when you have interference. Good point, Bob.
Well,
Yeah.
it can happen at any time. I could literally just be taking off and my screen goes black. Or I could be up, 100 feet away and then it goes black and I just wait for it to come back. But
Well, it's that's happened to me a couple of times when I was flying my mini drone, the original mini, and I used to use an old iPad that I had, and
mhm.
I would lose connection, I'm black. Luckily I could see the drone, I could manually land it, no problem. But it turned out that it was suggested to me by Ron Brown at the time, you might have to upgrade that iPad, and I did, and I upgraded, and then it went. I never had it happen again
All
at
right.
that with that drone. Yeah.
Right. What I do is if I lose connection, like with my Mavic 2 Pro or my Mavic 2 Zoom, those are the other drones that I have. I just always back up. I back up and I get it back. Usually you'll get it back. Unless you're, I don't use sport mode. I'm not a sport mode flyer unless I'm flying
Yeah.
back. Like if my battery's low, I will use sport mode. Now this drone goes nuts when you're landing it, does it not? I put it in sport mode to land it. If I get anywhere near it, it's like
Nah, I haven't tried smoke mode yet. I've tried it with the Mavic 3 a couple of times, but
I
I
only
don't.
use
I'm not a speed
landing.
demon, as they say. But
Mm.
but Gene, you're talking about speed, a drone that goes fast. Rod Hansen brought a top secret drone to the South Florida drone meetup. This
Wow.
thing looked like a rocket. It looked like a rocket, and it flew almost as fast as a rocket.
Wow. How many miles an hour? 90?
Well, it was 99.9, but maybe you
Wow.
could double that.
Wow. Well, racing, there are people here that I almost got into the racing drone scene, and I just really stuck with the photography end of it. There were a group here that do that, and I bought one, and I just never really did it. It didn't become my thing.
Yeah, yeah. And Steve, how you doing, Steve? You made it home? You home yet? Or did you get lost at Disney World? You look like you were having such a great time, you and Haley at Disney World. Steve came to the meetup and then he stayed an extra 2 weeks or week and he went to Disney World after the South Florida drone
Oh,
meetup.
I know.
So
I love Steve. Steve, he
yeah,
looked like he was
Drone
having
Seekers
a great time.
International. Yeah.
I told him he needs to go
And
to
there's
like the
Vic.
Harry
I guess
Potter
it's
world.
Vic, right? Is it Vic? How you doing, Vic? And we got Eric Rose. He's watching in the Bahamas. How you doing, Eric? So
Wow. How lucky
yes,
to be
they
in the Bahamas. Woo. Oh, right. Did you
yeah.
ever fly down in geez, what's right below the Keys? So last year when I went to my thing for my publisher in Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale, I flew at the Keys. Have you
Yes.
done any
That's a
flying
great
there?
place to fly. You did the 7 Mile Bridge, right? Didn't you?
Yes, by myself. I was a little nervous at first, but it was a piece of cake. It wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. Well, I went with Steve Barnett. He has a rental down in the Keys, and we ended up staying in it for
What part?
a couple of days in Key Colony Beach, right by Marathon.
Oh,
But he
okay.
took me to
Marathon has
the
an
7
airport.
Mile Bridge, and we flew it, and it was I got actually where is it? Oh, it's over there. I got it, an acrylic made of it. It's on the wall over there. But
Aw.
as far as acrylics and canvases, I just want everybody to see the latest canvas that I had made up.
Oh, that's
It,
great. That's
it's
beautiful.
the drone shot of the South Florida drone meetup that Mark Fisher took, and that
That
was
is
a great
perfect.
photo.
And
So
Mark is
this
amazing.
is,
He's amazing.
yes,
I have
he
to
is.
tell you about his interest in the great blue herons. And if anybody's
Yes.
interested in them, go to my YouTube channel and you'll learn a lot about them. I learned a lot. I learned about them as I went along. I have 12 episodes from the place where I got shot down, and then the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Management. I called them about it, and they directed me to a brand new heronry, which is further from my house. But now I'm documenting that one, so I'm back in business with the great blue herons and
Good.
loving it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good. I know Mark does a lot of wildlife photography too. But anyway, Ronnie is saying that Steve wants Jeanne to get in touch with him about her drone shooting issue. Okay.
Well,
All
how do
right.
I, Steve? How do I do
Steve,
that?
you're talking about Steve Jeanesse, Ronnie? So,
Well,
but anyway,
if you can give
hopefully.
me his information, Ray, off the show, that would be good.
But yeah, that's such a terrible thing to happen, really, Gene. So, oh, there we go. Warren talking about the blue hair.
Oh, well, guess what? I captured a lot of great blue heron poop. No, I've captured a ton of them sitting in the trees and it dropping down. I made some
Oh,
comments. It's pretty fun.
that's
They
funny.
poop a lot. Well, who doesn't? All the birds poop a lot, but my drone is
Yeah,
above them,
yeah.
so it's not in any danger. Actually, I'm like 100 feet above them, and I use the 7x zoom a lot on that to stay away from them,
Right. That's what I
Instead of
do with the ospreys
7 times.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as soon as I get back, I'm going to be flying with John. We're going to go down to Mount Sinai Harbor and check on the osprey nest down
Right.
there. Right, John?
What's the difference between the other Mavic 3 Pro lenses that you have compared to the Mavic 3 Pro? The one you had that has the two
It's
lenses.
a better camera. The Mavic 3 Pro has a better camera. I have the original Mavic 3. I got no complaints about that camera. I think it's great.
What are those two lenses that it has? So one is a 3 times.
It has a telephoto lens also, and I can zoom up to 28 times with it. But when you zoom in that far, you lose clarity.
I go to about
You really
I go
do.
to about 15 at the most, really. Yeah, I know.
Okay. So Paul's saying yes, it's Vic. Okay, Vic wants you to contact him. Vic Moss.
Okay.
And he is one of the most knowledgeable drone pilots I know. That's for sure.
Thank you. I appreciate any help. So.
And I know. And then you got Ryan Lotta Red too. He's an advocate for drone pilots. But anyway, it's a terrible, unfortunate thing to happen.
Yeah.
And I hope it gets resolved in your favor. I'm sure it will.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate
But somebody
that.
had a question about
It was devastating.
herons munching. Yeah, I know. You're right. Those herons get my koi.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You were telling me about that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh
Ray.
man, I'm
Sorry,
telling
Ray.
you, I made a video a few years back of the terrorizing heron in my backyard. So, but what's this say? I don't want Jeanne to. Well, yep, you're absolutely right, Ronnie. Yep, you're absolutely right.
And I will say, this is really
Anyway,
sad. But
go ahead.
no, in Tennessee, women, I'm from Long Island, and I feel like down here, it's a little different how women are treated. I hate to say it. I do. I mean, I live in a very nice area, But I think men are treated differently than women. On Long Island, we were a little more equal. You know, us Long Island women, we're tough women. We know how to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. And another thing, John put it up. John Flynn put it up. He's at Drone Service Providers Alliance, and that's a great group to join too,
Oh, okay. All right.
Jean,
That's
if you get a
good.
chance. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I
So,
appreciate any advice and all advice and support.
but
Thank you.
but listen, I can't forget to do the monthly giveaway contest tonight. So now is the time you're eligible too for the $10 Amazon gift card. To put in your lucky numbers in the chat
Can I
between
do
1
it?
and 25, and yeah, put it in. You don't know what it is. So, but look at Captain Joe. Now you're automatically disqualified, Joe. But I tell you, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable because I think I saw it already, and I don't mean the one with Captain Joe, but that one.
Oh, he puts in every number. Smart guy.
Yeah, I know. You know, that's Captain Joe for you. But anyway, I
Uh,
think Jerry Bauer got the first one, and
oh,
it
all
was
right,
number
Jerry.
22.
Hey,
Number
Ray, Jerry is
22.
my biggest fan. He's my biggest fan of my heron flying. Way to go,
Okay.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah. So congratulations. Your name will go in the hat, Jerry. But
Aw.
anyway. So Jean, listen, you know, you had such an interesting story. And you've got so much experience flying drones. I give you so much credit flying every day for the kids, you know.
Thank you.
That's
Well,
something that really is amazing.
thank
So,
you. I'm lucky
I
with the
did you
weather.
ever get the Guinness Book of World Records? Did you get the
They
record?
did not accept it. Nope, they never accepted it. I
Okay.
applied for it, and I guess they felt there was no way for them to really be able to be sure I was doing it, or I don't know. It didn't fit in with their guidelines. So, but I just continued to do it anyways. And my, you know, after a year, I was supposed to stop at a year, but I just kept going, and I can't stop. So
Right,
I love
right.
it. I
No,
absolutely
it's
love
great.
it. I love it. I'm so happy to find this hobby, and you know, it's a great, great hobby, as
Oh,
we
it's,
all know, right?
it is, you know. I'm so thankful that I didn't give up after I had bought my toy drone and I, you know, couldn't fly that thing more than 30, 40 seconds before it
You bought a
crashed.
toy drone? What was it?
Yeah, one of those $63 drones,
Oh,
and I gave up. I gave up for a couple of years, but then my friend he taught me how to fly a DJI drone, a
what was
Phantom
your first?
4.
What was your first one?
Phantom 4. The first one, the
Oh my
toy
gosh,
one?
those big giant things. But that's a good drone, right?
Oh, the Phantom 4. I loved it. I really did, you
But
know.
it's could you like hand
And
catch it?
anyway, Jerry Bauer got the numbers, guys. You don't have to put it in anymore. It was number 22. Bill would have got it, but he probably heard us saying it was 22. So, but anyway, um, again, I want to say thank you for being on,
Thank you.
really. And I do hope you make this South Florida drone meetup next year.
I'm gonna really
And
try.
I
I
do
got
have a commitment, and I got an announcement to make. Jeremy Alms, he's going to handle the shirts and the merchandise again, and he's working on creating a new logo. And the meetup committee, he already has designed them. We're going to vote on which design we want for the logo, and he'll have that 6th annual South Florida Drone Meetup shop up and running probably fairly soon. So, but thank you again, Jeremy. Really. So, Jean, now it's the time for you to say your advice and anything you'd like to promote, like your channel.
Well, yeah, well, I hope everybody watches it. I have 500 and something subscribers, and I get like one a month. So it'd be really nice if people would subscribe. I think it's a fun channel. I do a lot of variety of stuff. Anyway, I don't know. I appreciate anybody who would sub my channel. I sub back. I love to see everybody's footage as well. You know, this is like such a huge part of my life, and I try to make my channel interesting and fun. And
Yeah.
know what else to say.
Well,
And
again, thank you for being on, and I
thanks for
love
having
your videos. So keep
And maybe I'll
posting
see you
them.
next
You
week.
know.
Maybe I'll see you next week. We'll meet at
All
what's
right.
that lighthouse we met at last time? Come out to Montauk Lighthouse
Yeah.
with me. Meet me at Montauk Lighthouse.
Well, that's on my list. That's been on my list. It really has. I do want to get out there and fly that Montauk
You
Light.
have not flown there? Shame on you. You got to fly it.
So, but you know me, Patchogu's only 20 minutes, so I go to the Patchogue Lighthouse. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. I truly appreciate it. Just remember, get out there, fly for fun, but most importantly, fly safely. Have a good night, everybody.